So am I clear with this using the loop with range thing? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is your not exactly homework, but I want you to think and come up with the algorithm for this loop, for this code. Are you all okay with it? I mean, just try, and then
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
discuss. Okay, great. So let's move ahead. Okay. This is the basic flowchart of how for loop works. Okay. There is this item for sequence. I mean, you have this list here. This is some list, or this is some dictionary or tuple, and your one by one in sequence, your item is going here. Okay. And then if it satisfies the demand of your loop, then it goes inside or it breaks. If it's going inside, then you have a block of code which is asking, which is manipulating, or which is using your value or something to get the desired output, and it gets iterated until unless you don't go to the last index. So this is how your for loop works. Okay. Now we have Python while loop. Now let us take an example. For instance, it's raining. Okay, it's raining. Now, till when the rain will rain? Until and unless it does not stop. And when will it stop? When the condition is false. For instance, your cloud is a container and it's like it's raining, and till then the container gets like empty, it will rain. This is the situation. Okay. So your container is like true on the true set. I mean, your container is full. Okay. So the rain, when it will rain until unless your container goes false, your container goes empty. And this is how your while loop works. It will go downstairs until and unless the condition is true. And it will end when your condition is false. So this is how while loop works. So you can also iterate your while loop to infinity. Don't make the condition false, right? Make the condition always true. So your while loop will iterate to infinity. Okay. So again, the algorithm, we'll write it together. Okay. So what I did,
Initialize.
I initialized the variable with value. Okay. Next what I did,
Gave the condition.
yeah, while the value is greater to the condition, what you do, you print the value.
Print.
And after that, you
Iteration value.
yeah, you trade after you end it. That's what, like, okay, follow second step and then end it. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So this is what was the algorithm for. Now what if I write, okay, let's do it. I think I have this code. Yeah. So this is the code, right? Now I initialize by 4 while c is greater than 0. While जब तक c 0 से बड़ा है in हिंदी, right? जब तक c 0 से बड़ा होगा तब तक आप print करते रहो. Okay. So how will it go? 4 3 2 1. Why is it is going 4 3 2 1? Because I assigned the minus is equals to operator, so it will go down. Now let's write plus is equals to 1. And then iterate. You see, it's working, like it's working till infinity. So it will just carry on because you have not made it stop somewhere. Zero हमेशा 4 से बड़ा होगा ही ना. Every time when you're using this, the code is running. Every time you are satisfying this condition that C would be greater than 0. Every time it is getting right. But when I'm going down, 4 is greater than 0, correct. 3 is greater than 0, correct. 2 is greater than 0, correct. 1 is greater than 0, correct. 0 is greater than 0, no. So loop stops. But here, 4 is greater than
No.
0, correct. 5 is greater than 0, correct. 6 is greater than 0, correct. And so on. Am I clear? So let's stop it. Now I have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
use runtime. Execution. Your PC may also get hanged, okay, while doing this. So it's like disruptive. Okay, if I write C greater than 9, and if I ask him to, you get nothing. Why?
The condition doesn't matter.
Exactly. 4 greater than 9? No. 5 greater
False.
than 9? No. 6 greater than 9? No. So you don't get to print anything, right? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll talk about nested for loop. Okay. Now what is nested for loop? Okay. It depends upon what are you coding and how are you coding and what you want to code. Okay. So there may be time when you have to use loop into a loop, when you have to use while loop into a for loop, when you have to use for loop into a for loop which is already in a for loop. Okay, so it depends upon the condition, it depends upon your requirement, it depends upon your usability. So that is what is nested for loop. If you're using loop with a loop or under a loop, so that is what you call as a nested for loop or nested loop. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is an example. Okay, this is a very common example. What I did, I want to make a, I mean, this is something a slope. Okay, I want to make a slope. So I started with 1 to 6. For I in range 1 to 6. 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, why it's 5? Because index start from 0. So 1 to 6. For j in range I, what exactly it's doing? It's iterating I. Are you getting my point? For
Ma'am, I
in,
could not understand this one. J in range I.
yeah, sure. See again. For I in range 1 to 6, I have to go to 1 to 6, but I don't have to go to 1 to 6 at the same time. I have to break it, right? I have to, first line takes 1, then the second line takes 2, then the third line takes 3, then 4, and then 5. This is how I want to go, right? I want to expand after 1 and 1 again and again. I have to end somewhere, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm starting from the range 1 to 6. I mean, I just have to print 5. Okay. And then again, I'm looping I to J. What does that mean? First line, 1. I have
1,
to go to 6. So 1, 2, 3,
2,
4,
3.
5. I'll go here. But for J in range, I. Going to 6 is okay, but I also go to, I also want the 6 to go with that loop. Are you getting my point now?
Yes, ma'am.
So 1 will go here and then it will come here. Then 2 will go here and then it will come here. And it is also going simultaneously till 5. It is also
5.
going simultaneously here 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5, and simultaneously it is going here as well 1 2 3 4 5. So the same thing is iterating 2 times.
Yes, ma'am.
One first, for example, let's take it like this. You have a list. So you have a list 1 2 3 4 5 6. So for I in range 1, for j in range I. So what is the range of j? 1, right? Am I
Yes,
clear?
ma'am.
So
Yes,
it
ma'am.
will be only 1. Let's go on the second line. For I in range 2, for j in range 2. So what is the range of j in I? 1 and 2. You have 1 here and then 2. So what will it print? 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Acha.
For I in range 3.
3.
For I in range 3. For the third line, what I have to print? For j in range I. What is the range of j now? 1, 2
1.
and 3. So it is making list in a list, if you can see. Again, for I in range 4, for j in range I, what is the range of 4 now? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Again, for 5, what will it come? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 5. Now, for I in 6, we are on the 6th line. Now, what is for j in I, what is the range of I, like, what is the range of I now for j term? We have 6 indices, right? So I'll write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how it works. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how nested loop works. It's kind of complicated, but it will come through practice. Okay, so you need not to worry about it. I mean, it seems complicated, but it's not that complicated. So all the parameters and pyramids and all your patterns, you draw patterns and all in Python. So this is how you do it. Okay, you have this nested loop concept. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So again, just just to recall what all we learned, so that you don't get confused, because it was kind of important for this class for you all to know what all have we done. Okay, first we went to the introduction to loops and what conditions are. On the second, we learned what is the purpose of loops, why we use loops, so that we can repeat the code again and again and we don't write it. So it reduces your reusability. Okay, it is reusable. You can use the code, right? Third, I have given you a daily life example of a brick. You can take anything if the way you want. Now we learned Python for loop, how to create a loop, how to go with range, okay, you can also write in strings. Okay, for instance, if we have one more thing I wanted to tell you. So this is how you get the length. Okay, so what is the length of this string? 5. So you get the length as 5. So you can also take the length of anything you want, maybe a list. So you get the length. Am I clear? So this is how you can work with the length. I mean, this is how you calculate the length of anything. So you can also use strings. Okay. So here what I did, you don't need this. I wanted to show you something else. I wanted to show you how to append it. I mean, so this is how you append it. And what exactly is happening here? So you're appending the value of, you're appending the indices here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so on. Okay, so that's what you do. If you want to append the indices, you want to know how many indices are there by appending it. So you can do this. But I don't want to do this. I want to print this hello. So this is how you use your strings. So you don't write range here because string has no range. Okay, your values, your int has range, your list has range, your tuples has range, your dictionary may have range, but your strings has no range, right? So this is how you use string in your loops. Okay, for I in whatsoever string it is, and then you whatsoever code you want to code, you have to write it. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now here how I works. What is the first indice? H. So H. E. So E. L. 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 O. And then O. So this is how your string works. Okay. Now next. Then we came across how to design the algorithms and how to write the simple codes using the list and using the range stuff. Right? You have to write this algorithm and let me know tomorrow if you can do it or if you cannot. Okay. Now we saw the flow chart. Okay, the flow chart for loop, how it works. Your value goes in with the sequence, and then after going in, it will go, if it satisfy the for loop iteration, then it will come in. It will perform whatsoever task, whatsoever condition you have write in the block of code, and then it will again go to the next index. This is how for loop works. Now while loop, how does it works? It iterates until and unless your situation does not turn false. So if your situation is true, if while is equals to true, your loop will go on and go on, and the moment it gets false, it will stop. Okay. It can also work till infinity. It can also go till infinity if your condition never satisfy or never go to false. So if your condition is always true, your loop can iterate till infinity. So you need to stop the loop. You need to give a condition where your loop is false, where your while is equals to condition goes to false. Okay. Now next, algorithm and code of while loop. I taught you how to write a while loop algorithm with you, and then how to work with while loop. I've shown you how it goes to infinity and how it does not. Okay. Nested for loops, you can use nested loops, and nested for loops are one and the same thing. You can use loop into a loop, loop into a for loop, while loop, and so on. Okay. I have shown you an example. You try onto yourself, and then we can discuss this tomorrow if you want, and if you do not want, it's completely on you. Okay, these are some basic things: break, pass, and continue. Okay, break means if I am making a loop and I want to break it somewhere. Okay, just I want to break it. For instance, you I mean, you break something. I mean, you just stop it there and then you start with some other loop. You stop with something else. That is what break is. If you want to pass your value to some another code, okay. If you want to jump from one code to the another code, you pass the value. And if you want to continue the code, you write continue. So these are three things. And one more thing. We have comments, indentation, and syntax. Okay, what are comments? What are indentations? For example, let's write something. Uh, Adding two values. So to give a comment, you use hashtag and then you write a comment. You write a comment to make the other people understand your code and the strategy of your code. That is what you're doing in the algorithm. You're making an algorithm. So you're writing your algorithms in the comments so that the other person could understand, okay, you did this and then you did this and you did this. Okay, so that he can make a sequel. So it is basically for your own comfort and for your own readability. Okay, then you wrote something for I in range whatsoever, and then you printed something. You can see a space here, right? This space is known as indentation, and this code which you're writing here is specifying you that you are in this loop. Okay, so it is very, very necessary to give indentation. If your indentation is not coming automatically, you have to press tab. Okay, you can press tab, or you can also go to backspace. Am I clear? Third, the code which you are writing is your syntax. Okay, whatever you're writing is your syntax. So make sure that you have comments, you have your syntax, and you have your indentation. Okay, now we'll talk about functions. What are functions? So basically, functions are something which we use for reducing the usability of a code. For instance, I have 3 jars, okay, and I'm filling one jar with biscuits, okay, for say, and second jar with something else, with some chocolates, okay. Now, before keeping the biscuits into the jar, I had my biscuits segregated to many places, okay, in the kitchen. Somewhere in my fridge, somewhere in my almirah, somewhere in on the table. So they were segregated. They were like, it was very difficult for me to take the biscuit and eat it. So what I did, I took all the biscuit together and I put it in a jar. Now every time if I want to eat a biscuit, I just have to open the jar and have to take the biscuit. So it makes my work easy, right? It's make my work more comfortable, right? So this is what functions do. Functions, you write all the code in the functions, and whenever you want to use that code, you just have to call the function. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is how you write functions. Define, you have to give any name. You can give any name. I have given function here. You can give what, you can also write your own name here. So you have to write a name for the function, okay? So you have to write the function name and then you have to print whatever the code is into here. You have to write it and then you just have to call the function. So the moment you call the function, you can see the output. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, here is this this code. Look at this. I have a function known as sum, and I have two variables, x and y, and printed x plus y, and I'm calling the function sum, and I'm giving the values. Now I don't have to write this x plus y again and again, right? I just have to change this value. I can change it to 9 and whatever, and I'll get the answer. So this is more easy. This is more compatible, right? From the thing which we would do. If I want to sum 11 plus 12. So what I used to do, I used to write this print x plus y, and then I used to define two variables, x is equals to this and y is equals to this, right? Now what, the only thing which I have to do is change this number. So this makes your code easy. This makes your work more easy to do. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I can write all of it in a function, okay? So I can write all of it into a function, and then I just have to call whatsoever. I have to call Prachi. This is how it works. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now we are at if and else statement. Now, see, people generally teach you if and else statement first, and then they come to loops. But I made it different because if and else statement is easy to understand rather than looping. Okay. So if you understand how to work with loop, it's very easy for you to understand how to work with if and else statement. Am I clear? For instance, I go to a shop to buy a packet of chips. My mama said that, Prachi, if you get Lays, bring it. Else, do not bring it. Or she said, Prachi, if you get Lays, bring it. Else, bring Balaji. Are you getting my point?
Yes,
How the
ma'am.
if and else works? If this condition is true, carry on. But if this condition is not true, I'm giving you an else situation. If A is greater than 2, perform this application. Else, perform this application when A is not greater than 2. So A is you don't have to write A is not greater than 2. It automatically takes A as not greater than 2. That means it will take A as less than 2 or equals to 2. Here, I have given two variables. A is equals to 33, B is equals to 200. If B is greater than A, I have to print B is greater than A. Now let's write it with if and else statement. I have A is equals to 23, B is equals to 34. If A is greater than B, print So what did it print? A is not greater than B. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, if and else, like if and else is really very easy than loop. Okay, if I which prints A is greater than B. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You can also again make a function with A comma B. And after all of it, you can call the function with giving the values. There was an error. No. Okay. Sorry. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You can ask me. Any doubt, anyone? You can ask me.
Clear.
Are you asking something, Swatika?
No, I'm saying it's clear.
Okay, so you have I mean, I have some, like, this is kinda end with Python with data analysis. Okay, so Python with data analysis, we went a bit to Python, and from tomorrow I'm going to teach you what is NumPy, which is pandas, and then we'll carry on. Okay, before that I wanted to tell you two important things. One is packages and one is module. Okay, you have two things. One is packages and one is module. So what are packages and what are modules? You have a folder. Okay, you have a folder and you have files in that folder. So that folder is your package and the files in your folder are modules. Okay, so the package, the files containing the modules are with .py extensions. They are like the Python files. Okay, so we are basically importing the Python files. We are using these libraries to work, or to access our task, to complete our task. That's what we basically do. So pandas, NumPy, sklearn, everything's are basically what are they? They are the modules, right? They are the modules in the package. So we are using one of the module of a package as a library. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your today's task is make any code first thing. You have to revise all of it, which I have made you understand from the class, like from yesterday to today. Okay, you can jot it down, you can make an audio, you can make a video, it depends on you. Okay, whatsoever you want to do, just jot all the points which you learned and which you have doubt, and make it first thing. Second, complete this algorithm today. And the third thing is make subtraction. Okay, one more thing. I mean, there is this function known as sum. So if there is a list, and if I write sum of list 1, oh yeah, It's getting. Oh God. You don't understand. It works like this. Okay. This.
Yes, Prachi, time is running out. Maybe another 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1 second. 1 second. 1 second.